Stellar Blade director rejects criticism of lead character's sex appeal. I don't want to see something normal. I want to see something more ideal. Greetings once again, my friends, and welcome back to the GNRO Minicast. I'm your host, Adam Mickelson, aka Drak. I hope everybody's having an awesome day or night when you're listening to this. And once again, we are coming with a story from boundingintocomics.com with Spence McCooley as the author. And this is in regards to an indie game being made in China called Stellar Blade. And it's actually been receiving a lot of criticism this month. I'm not sure why, because it actually looks pretty damn good. I actually have seen the trailers for this, and I'm fairly excited because it looks like basically a Souls-like with maybe even some Devil May Cry-esque mechanics put into it. But mainly, the criticism that I have been able to see has been in regards to its female protagonist, because they have to be strong, female, and absolutely ugly looking. And the problems that everybody has is that, well, she's pretty freaking hot. And for some reason, they think her face looks childlike, which I'm just going to put the picture up right here while I say this, looks fairly child or doll-like, and therefore is pedophilic? I would love for them to properly justify that, because the arguments that I've already heard, I do not agree with. But let's go ahead and get into this article, shall we? You love to see it. Rather than giving in to the outrage leveled against the attractive design of his game's lead female character, Stellar Blade director Hyun-tae Kim is standing behind his creative vision. Good for you, buddy. Directed by Kim for Korea-based Goddess of Victory Nikkei, developer Shift Up, and set to be published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, Stellar Blade puts players in the shoes of Eve, one of the few remaining humans left standing in defense of Earth following the planet's takeover by a monstrous alien species known as the Netiba, I believe is how they say it. An agile and skilled fighter, Eve's mission is given renewed purpose one day when she is introduced to the city of Shion. I'm guessing that's how you say it, the last remaining human outpost on the planet's surface. Finding herself connecting with Shion's residents, the heroine then resolves to put her abilities to use, protecting the Shion from any and all Netiba threats, as well as unlocking the secrets of the mysterious robotic Mother Sphere worshipped by the city's residents. A third-person character action game that feels like a mix of Nier Automata, Devil May Cry 5, and a little Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Okay. For cybernetic flavor, one of Stellar Blade's most distinguishable features is its depiction of Eve herself. Based upon a full-body scan of Korean model Shin Jae-eun. Oh, it's actually a full-body scan. So does she look pedophilic, internet? The heroine's appearance is both equal parts feminine and sexually appealing, a stark contrast to the usual character designs that are typically born out of today's overtly puritanical and realistic representation-obsessed media ecosystem. Yeah, no kidding. All I need to do is point everybody to the Fable trailer. Oh, good lord. People have completely forgotten that sex sells. And yet, despite the usual accusations of sexism this design choice has drawn, Kim has affirmed that he has no interest in changing course. Good for you, Kim. I appreciate that. Offering his thoughts on the topic to Games Radar, Kim, speaking through a translator, explained that when it came to Eve's design, we put special attention on the back of the character because the player is always facing the back of the character when they're playing. I love that philosophy because, I mean, I played MMOs, so I've heard this numerous times. You know, if I'm going to play a character from 1 to 70, 80, 90, 100 levels, I might as well enjoy what I'm looking at. That's what they see most of, he elaborated on the team's creative philosophy, so we thought this was very important. Which apparently offends so many different people. Opining that the choice to present a character with a sexually appealing design has become somewhat of a brave thing to be going for or attempting. Told the outlet that in terms of very harsh reaction Eve may elicit from global audiences, i.e. terminally online Westerners, and it really is true. I personally think that compared to movies, animations, manga, and so on, people are especially strict towards games. In games, there's all the views that people have, which are not always positive, about unrealistically beautiful characters, and in some cases is just people being plain butthurt. To this end, the director then bluntly admitted, honestly, when I play a game, I would like to see someone who is better looking than myself. Gee, I wonder why that is. Oh, wait, because It allows for us to be able to look at that character and be able to see a sense of confidence in themselves. And thus we want to be them, or in some cases have a beer with them. Oh my gosh, it's almost like this is psychology or something. That's what I want, he concluded. I don't want to see something normal. I want to see something more ideal. I think that it is very important in a form of entertainment. This is, after all, entertainment targeted for adults. I like the fact that he actually did state that, because Stellar Blade isn't necessarily, from what I can tell in the trailers, it is not being advertised to kids. It's a very dark premise. It's got very kind of dark designs and everything like that. In fact, the Natiba that he was talking about, I was actually making the joke to somebody that they are very akin to like necromorphs from Dead Space. So at that point, no, I think that he's made it very clear who this is targeted towards and who he's aiming for, and that's great. At current, Stellar Blade is on track to stylishly slice its way exclusively onto PlayStation 5 consoles this April 26th, which I have no problem telling you guys, I have considered getting this at launch. And considering the backlash that has come from Eve's appearance, I might actually do it just to stick it to all of the terminally online Westerners, as the article so eloquently put. My opinion on this is Stellar Blade actually looks pretty freaking amazing, and game developers in the West should be freaking jealous that if it's successful, because Kim is basically doing what they are not doing. And they should be able to understand that when it blows them all out of the water, which I hope happens, I'm not guaranteeing that it is, when that happens, that they can basically look at that and go, oh, well, maybe we ought to reconsider some things. Which I find funny, because as I am recording this, the Tomb Raider trilogy remastering is coming out, and already we had the incident with Crystal Dynamics basically dropping Trow and taking a ginormous shit on it. And my opinion on that is, oh wow, why on earth would you do that, Crystal Dynamics? You just barely got bought by a company. It's another company that's doing this. Why would you take a shit upon your parent company as well as your sister company if you want said companies to be successful? So at that point, I think one studio in particular should take notice of Stellar Blade, especially if it's successful, and that being Crystal Dynamics. And hopefully they learn from this. I hope Western developers learn from this quite a bit and stop this whole, we have to make the game for everybody, but ultimately you're not making the game for everybody. You're making it so unattractive, nobody will buy it. And that being said, that's my opinion on this particular story. If you guys have opinions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you liked what I had to say, please leave a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel. It really goes a long way to be able to help me and the YouTube algorithms and all that wonderful shit. And thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, thank you to Banding Into Comics and Spencer McCooley for the article. Thank you for the highlight to Stellar Blade, because I really do think this game deserves way more highlights, just in light of all of the accusations and criticisms that it's getting. And we will see you guys next time for the next GNRO Minicast. Until then, take care, my friends.